I'm Quintus Schultzke. I live near Greenway and Cotton Lane, and thank you for the opportunity to speak here. And I'm grateful for the committee working as they did to interview everybody and get that done. I appreciate that they were open meetings. Something needs to be changed probably in the template that Christy uses, because it says public hearing no on that template. So it probably should be updated for that. Just a point to make there. When I look at this here, what we have in front of us, we're at a point where I can understand the conundrum there for Chrissy trying to correct things with these 5-year terms, but we now have 11 positions that are going to be corrected with 5-year terms. And it raises a lot of concern. This is obviously being done in an election year. It's being done with a committee that, unfortunately, no fault of your own, but unfortunately is now made up of 2 departing council members. And that's, and they're leaving behind a recommendation. The process we follow here is that there were, a number of people that applied for each position, but now you're only receiving the names of the ones that the committee recommended. So essentially the committee is deciding who's going to be there. Sure, it's going to have to get ratified by your vote, but you're not being given a ballot like I do, like I will again in November, that says choose 2 or choose 3. And that's really the process that should be employed here. I know it's too late to make a change on that now. That's why I've recommended that, for these assignments, that they really should be given a 1-year assignment, give them an opportunity, and then if they want to reapply and add it up to 5 years, that's totally fine. Reappointment is a good thing. You don't even have to. Your code even says that you don't even have to. For reappointments, you don't have to go through a competitive process. You could just reappoint them, but at least you have that to follow as a point of order. Major concern that I have, my first one again, is that these come to you for just ratification. You don't actually get to vote on everybody. If Chris had recommended someone join a committee and he doesn't see their name there, he's not given the opportunity to vote on them. The major concern number 2 is that with the 5-year term, especially on planning and zoning, there is a member that's already participating in other public groups, as you will, and those are, there is a thing in the code that says you can't be on more than 2. So that is something to pay attention to. And I'll give you just a last little bit here. This really comes down to how do you want this to look for the public here? Because that's the perspective I'm giving you, is the look for the public. And in your own city policies and procedures, it says, while someone may be disappointed in a decision, officials must adhere to the ethical standards that eliminate disappointment born of dishonesty, conflicts of interest, unfairness, or illegality. Preservation of the public trust is critical for the preservation of democracy. Thank you.
All right. So to echo some of the sentiments that Quintus spoke on in relation to these nominations, he mentioned that 2 out of the 3 of the body that is the nomination committee are in their final last little home stretch of their term. And I think that the question of ethics should be brought up, as the way that these committees are formed is that you, Mayor Hall, nominate the chair of the committee, and then the chair hand selects the 2 members appointed. I have a serious ethical issue, as should everybody else who read that 21 some odd page report that the outside counsel delivered and disseminated to the public on June the 18th that resulted in a censure of Ms. Klein's behavior. She has proven herself incapable of being impartial. She has violated not just policy and procedure, but she has violated state law. And there's probably an argument to be made against the state constitution as well, regardless of the presence of any sort of legal charges being dropped. There are other concerns that really just do not sit right with these total of 12, one's appointing a vacancy, so total of 11 new seats that are up for 5 years. There is no elected office, to my knowledge, in the entire country that is elected for 5 years, the only exception being obviously a Supreme Court appointment for life and then 6 years for a federal senator. Nothing in local government for longer than 4 years. Quintus mentioned that there's only 2 public bodies that a member can be a part of, and that's codified in the Surprise Municipal Code. And as it's defined by Arizona Revised Statutes Title 38-431, public bodies does trickle down to things like nonprofits, corporations, or anything else that does have meeting minutes that are open to the public. And there's at least one individual that is on a total of 5 boards right now that is up for nomination tonight. Moreover, the public postings of how many positions that were available were either incomplete or something had drastically changed since the public notices were made. And the public notice is no longer found anywhere on the City of Surprise website. So how can one go through and determine if even the competitive process was honored throughout this process? And for that reason, I strongly implore every single one of you on the dais tonight to not nominate anybody and revisit this after the session resumes with the new elected officials. Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Philip Blair. Mr. Mayor, City Council, I appreciate the opportunity to be speaking to you this evening. I'm very concerned about the state of all the commissions in the City of Surprise maintains. As many of you know, I was a member of the Veterans Disability Human Services Commission. My term expired at the end of June, with me not serving a full term as I was brought on in the middle of someone else's term that had left the commission. This year, my term expired. I reapplied and interviewed for the position as a member of the Veterans Disability Human Services Commission. I was shocked to find out that I was not put back on the commission, as I ran a successful event, VetFest 2024, and I was a very vocal member of the commission, helping guide and navigate the commission through the bureaucracy, which can be the government itself. But I digress. This is not about me. This is about the commissions itself. I was a little shocked to find out walking into the interview room that 2 of the people on the committee that I was interviewing with, one was running for another position and the other one was actually outright retiring from the city council. The one person on the commission was also under investigation currently at my time of interview with the city and county, which would later be censured by this body. I believe this whole proceeding in selecting new members for the commission was and is flawed and very skewed, not only for me, but for the people being interviewed. Also, it makes things more interesting that one of the persons that replaced me on the commission is a friend of someone that was on the committee. That itself has to be part of the panel, and they should have been recused. They should have recused themselves before even doing the interviews. Before you take action on putting new commission members in place this evening, I think it would behoove you to look at the process and possibly re-interview everyone that is on the commissions. This result might be the same, and I'm okay with that, but I believe that everyone should be given a peace of mind, and I believe that there were serious missteps. I think you could do this for the City of Surprise and the citizens of this great city. Thank you and Godspeed.